Field, right here, in the middle of nowhere in Russia, doesn't look that useful. Because it's not. Nobody, not me, not locals, not tourists, cares about this field. Anybody that walks through this field, by accident of course, spits on the field once they realize where they are. And most animals that wander through here are shunned by their animal friends and are forced to spend the rest of their lives alone. Well, there's a beautiful spot just behind those trees there. Great for picnics, there's a pond, a couple hiking trails, but that's not right here. Here, there is none of that. Only this awful, absolute waste of earth.
Yes, this field here is not good. Nobody likes this field. There is nothing special about it. Any children that are caught frolicking in the field are hit with sticks and then sent to Yakutsk for 8 months where they are scalded and then tied to posts where the locals throw rocks at their feet. It's awful. Nobody likes this field.
In the early 20th century, the British Army bombed this location on 8 separate occasions, stating that just knowing it existed, even though it was 2,000 miles away, was enough to disrupt the sleep of 45% of London's upper class. But the field is still here. Why? Because, well, bombing a field just makes it a bigger field. Just looking at it, at that field, a man could lose his faith from that field. Believe me, if I had to pee, I'd take a pee on this field, right here. I hate it. But I left my Diet Coke at the hotel, and I don't currently have to pee. If you ever find yourself here, for whatever reason, stay clear of this field. It is awful. Nobody likes it. And if you show up here, nobody will like you either.
Hurled at their feet by the locals. That's turned Scottish.
This field, right here, in the middle of nowhere in Russia, doesn't look that useful because it's not.
Do you like that exaggerated? Okay.
Computers and nonsense and, well, science and in Norway, well,
One take left, Mom.
Okay.
Love you to death. Say it louder.
Love you.
Thank you. Love you so much.
Great idea, Tom. Film outdoors in England in the spring. It'll look magical. I got an email from a genetic engineering company that said, "Hi, Tom. We own a cloning machine. Would you like to use it and have a few more Toms running around?" And of course, I said, yes. I mean, I think we'd all be a lot better off. But then I asked, just how many clones can I make? And for some reason, they said, as many as you like.
Yeah, so the way the cloning works is we extract some leg fluid from Tom, and then we have him pee in a cup. And then we put that in the cloning machine, and 48 hours later, poof, a new handsome young man in red shirt who visits places.
See, I don't like being impersonated. It's one of my least favorite things next to that field from last time. But if it's just biologically another me making the same kind of video on the same YouTube channel with the very same DNA, then is it still an impersonation? I mean, some of them have already tried making videos of their own. Have a look. In 1998, The Undertaker threw mankind off Hell in a Cell and plummeted 16 feet through the announcer's table. Napoleon was short and also French. That's about as bad as it gets. This microphone windscreen is from a cat that I killed on the way here. Yeah, okay, a lot of the Toms are not perfect. I mean, the first couple were fine, but after that we stopped cloning me and started cloning the clones, and it really sort of negatively impacted their talents. I have all of your credit card information, and you are very lucky that I haven't released it yet. It sometimes hurts when I pee. I'm starting a Patreon, and for every $5, I'll kiss my dad on the lips. Yeah, right, so, I mean, now, there are a few benefits. I mean, they're slightly taller and more athletic, and they've got slightly more feminine hips, which is great, but there still are a few more kinks to work out on top of the ones that we've already covered. One of the major ones is that they're not as smooth with potential mates as I am. I mean, I get dates like a pillar box gets post, but most of them, whenever someone else walks by, they just yell and soil themselves.
The soiling of the pants is unfortunately very common in the cloning world. It would be you'd be very naive to think that a clone would not pee his pants almost always.
I mean, it is still very impressive, don't get me wrong. I mean, all the primary functions that you'd expect a Tom Scott to have, the clothes, the hair, the urinary tract infection, it's all there. And ever since the cloning of Dolly the sheep in 1996, I will say, though, I am a bit concerned. I mean, is there a law here to protect me from identity theft? I mean, what if one of the other Toms claims to be me, the original Tom? Okay, that is not the original Tom. I want to make that very clear. This is becoming a problem. We've already taken some of the more defective Toms and brought them to an island about 40 miles away. But if they do start to become self-aware and think that they're the real Tom, then you're not the real Tom. Okay, right, the truth is, all of us are clones, except for one very special guest that flew in from London just this morning. Yeah, no, Tom, you didn't come. That would have been a cool ending, though.
You know, I wake up so early. You want to know how early I got up this morning? I woke up yesterday at noon, but like for today. If you want success, you gotta put in work. And if that means never seeing your kids again, so be it. I am an entrepreneur, okay? Don't get it twisted.
If you guys join me, does anyone want? It's a crisp 20. I'm an entrepreneur. If you join me now, it's yours. It's an incentive. I know. It's not a bribe. It's incentive. That's how business works.
Transcend. Think about that word for a minute. You know, I probably use the word transcend upwards of 14 times every half hour. Social media? It's a disease. Do you have Instagram? Yes? You have tuberculosis. Facebook? The mumps. Twitter? Knock, knock. Who's there? Oh, hey, lupus. Oh, this? This is my hometown. I bought every house here so I could have a place to put all of my books. I've never touched a single genital. Not even my own. I don't even know what they feel like. Touching a genital would distract me too much from my reading. Knowledge is intercourse. I've killed 3 men.
This is no place for you people.